I hope that you guys are doing great. And today I wanted to come and just pop in to say a few words regarding this subject, which is differences that I've encountered and also difficulties whenever doing business with Mexico compared to doing business with China. Being having in mind that previously I was living in China for around 15 years, and all of a sudden I haven't been back since the pandemic to 2020, right? So, being said this, what I meant is like in these recent years that I've been here in Mexico, I've noticed that I've just I noticed, plus I also got aware that doing business here with uh, Mexican companies is not quite the same as doing business with Chinese companies. And what I mean by that is that, for example, let's say you, some of you do know that I am a vegan and that I do not consume animal products. So I do have some supplier of like vegetable milks. And let's say I want to make an order of like 2 or 3 boxes of like coconut almond and soy milk, because they supply to me in like big cartons, big boxes, and each box has like, let's say, 10, 15 different cartons each, right? So I will be ordering from this lady. We have the business contact through WhatsApp. Most of the business here in Mexico are made through a contact via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the most popular communication channel here. I would like to know which is the communication channel as whenever we are talking business regarding your country. That's very important for me because I will be also creating this system for you guys to purchase my services. And therefore, I would like to know which will be your preferred channel of communication. Of course, email is a very global one, but I think email is quite slow, being said that now we have WhatsApp or even the WeChat. So I will be ordering these cartons, and I wanted to place an, each time I want to place an order, the lady will, first of all, will be very slow to reply the message itself. And I will be waiting perhaps 1 whole day, 2 whole days, 3 whole days even, working days. And after she will be replying like, sure, we will come by your home and deliver you the order. And she will not precise give a date and a exact time whenever she will be able to do so. And therefore I will be here waiting, hopefully that will be later today, or maybe she can sometimes specify a day but not a time. So therefore I have to be sitting at home the whole morning or the whole afternoon waiting for the delivery of this order to arrive. And that is just not efficient or effective. I mean, it's not good customer service, as well as not good, how to say, the service itself is just time taking for you to, it's not um, possible for you to know a precise time whenever you will be receiving the goods. And therefore, you can waste a whole afternoon or morning just waiting for the goods. Because if you were to leave your home, we live here in houses. It's not as China that they have like this kind of delivery or package parcel automatic storage boxes where you will input your code and you can get the parcels, the little quiety packages out, because the delivery guy will leave them there. So it doesn't really matter whether you are at home or you are not at home whenever the delivery guy visits your address, right? As well as, I don't know how does it work, for example, in the USA. I guess it's going to be almost the same if you live in a home a house, big house, and there is no one to receive the parcel, then I'm not sure whether he will just leave it outside. I don't think so, because it can be stolen, or leave it somewhere with some neighbor, or perhaps if you live in an apartment, the first floor security guide or whoever is on the front desk can receive those parcels, those packages. But it's just very not convenient, this whole approach of like uncertainty regarding business in Mexico. And this is a very big company that supplies this kind of vegetable milks, which are a very big brand. And I kind of purchase as a wholesale client. And nonetheless, I still have this to pass through this treatment or this uncertainty. So in China, this experience is a very different one. First of all, you have somehow the idea of when is that you will have your goods delivered. In this regard, I'm talking at this very moment about customer service or how people is doing business here and there, right? Okay, that is one issue. That whenever I get to contact some whoever, let's say supplier, of course, because it's a supplier of goods, of some kind of goods, there was this other guy selling me like hydroponic vegetables, so that those will be like vegetables that are grown in water and organic. And because I care about my self-care, my self-look, thanks a lot for the like. Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying these lives, and let me know in the comments where are you watching it from. So I will be contacting this supplier through WhatsApp, and they will be very slow in replying as well, and very uncertain about like their availability of goods. There was this time, I just remember now, that he said like, I'm outside delivering some goods. I'll reply to you later when I get home about the stock we have at this very moment of like fruits and veggies. And I was like, yeah, don't worry. I will be here waiting for your message. So for me to choose what is that I want and place an order. So that was the last message I received regarding the supplier. And I was like, this is just not possible. And I'm very, very, very sure that you guys, especially if you are from the USA, that you have like more close contact to Mexico, are quite aware about what is that I'm talking about regarding the efficiency of communication whenever you want to do business with Mexico. Whoever, let's say it's a small or, of course, the bigger the company, it should be not like this, but sometimes it still is like this. So the customer service is not very efficient. And that gives you like a very hard time, because you feel like you are on a position of like begging them, the Mexican company suppliers, for begging them to sell you goods, begging them to give you service, to pay attention to you, because you are someone that wants to purchase from them. You are someone that is interested in their products or services. And it's kind of so very slow, the reply time. It's just unbelievable. Sometimes they even forget to reply to you, and you have to come once again to the chat and be like, hello, I am still here waiting for your answer. Oh yeah, hold on. And then he or she, whoever is attending this WhatsApp, sometimes of course is like vendors or like some kind of marketing clerks that are working for the company or whatever. Sometimes it's the entrepreneur itself. They will take like really long time, to the point that you are just fed up. You just wanted to know the price. You just wanted to know some details about their products or services. And they are so very slow to reply. I'm telling you, there are a few companies that don't even got to reply to me the very same day, even 2-3 days after. I'm just so fed up of that. I was so fed up. Of course, at this moment, I'm just like, okay, There's not a solution for that, so I just have to accept it. But that was one of the things that just got to my nerve when I arrived here to Mexico, especially because whenever I was contacting these companies or the suppliers of like these kind of goods, I was to place an order as a wholesaler because I was like a big client. And I usually got the new mentality like the Chinese, like they purchase in bulk, so I will get the best price. And because, of course, these goodies, I will be consuming them on a regular basis, so I don't mind having like a bulk of them stock up at home because I know that I will be consuming them with time. So I was willing to pay to get more quantity and get a better price, right? And once again, I was just very uncomfortable with the situation or with the fact that even though them knowing that I was about to place a big order, or that once I got to tell them like, hello, I'm interested in purchasing like wholesale kind of quantity, how much will be the price for that, or how much is the discount? Um, and even though they were aware of me being a good big client for their future orders, still the service was very poor. And it's just not acceptable, really. It's not acceptable. Of course, after living in China for that whole time, like more than a decade, coming here, it's even more troublesome because you are already used to the very super fast reply. And not just that, seriously, whenever you ask some like company in China how much is the price for this or that, I even remember, let's say I got to have some facials, massages, like let's say we go to some service kind of company, and then I will contact them through WeChat, and I will get the reply ASAP, like really super fast. And sometimes, of course, I'll be like, okay, thanks a lot for the info. I will be considering it, and I will get back to you whenever I decide to purchase or not. They will not just stop there. They have this work ethic or customer service kind of ethic that they will go the extra mile as to be contacting you like after a few days, wondering whether or not you would like to purchase the service, or perhaps whenever they have some promotions or discounts, they will be contacting you in order for them to let you know about the good prices that they are having, and you might as well purchase the service because it's a good opportunity for you. So they have these initiatives compared to Mexican companies. I'm not talking of course about the 100% of them, but my experience here has not been great at all. And therefore, I would like you guys to know, I would like you guys to suggest me what is the communication channel of your preference, as well as if you ever happen to also experience what I'm talking, these kind of situations, whether you are providing Mexican companies with some kind of materials, equipment, whether you have Mexican clients or suppliers, that they are just very inefficient whenever it comes to customer service, as well as they don't have like a follow-up client strategy as Chinese do. In general, no matter the size of China company, usually they are very great at like chasing you to purchase their products or services. And they have this very subtle kind of approach. Hello, my friend. Hello, Chinaida, like, hello, dear. We have this and that. What about this? They have this kind of mindset that first we make friends, 先做朋友, let's make friends, and after we can make business. So it feels quite comfortable, very comfortable for you as a human to listen to these words and not be terrified that they're just like following you just to make you some sales. Of course, it really depends whether the contact is just remote. It doesn't feel any kind of warm. You cannot make friends like that. But whenever you get to visit the installations of, let's say, the company or the factory, the shop, the whatever is the case that you are visiting, whatever is the business kind of kind. First, they will be very like kind and will not push you to purchase if you are hesitant. They will be like, let's make friends, sit down, drink some tea. We can first have some friendship, and afterwards, if you ever want to come and purchase this or that, you are welcome. So that feels very warm to the heart. This is not quite, this approach is very, of course, if you are talking about Europe or even USA, this approach is almost non-existent, because I know, as far as I know, people there is quite cold headed, and you go to business and you go to talk business, and there's nothing more. Like, you are not going there to make any friends. That is not your objective or purpose. So there's no necessity to lose time there sitting there. And this is very smart from the Chinese. Like, whenever you sit there, they will get more information about you, and of course they can approach you somehow better because they get to understand you more, and they get to have this connection with you, and making this connection makes a whole difference, like, even when I am still here in Mexico, I get to purchase like Chinese tea from China, and you will be like, isn't there Chinese tea in Mexico available? Of course there is. But I remember I have this very kind story. Whenever I was walking around Shenzhen, there are these very big buildings, like tea houses, which are very big buildings where they have a lot of tea suppliers all around. And there was this kind person who was like, don't worry, you don't have to buy now. You just have to sit with us and have a talk, like, let's make friends. You can just test out all the teas that we have here. If you don't want to purchase, doesn't matter. So I add her WeChat, and to be honest, I don't even remember her face, but I just have her WeChat. I don't even kind of recall whether I bought or not tea at that time, but because I have her WeChat and I see her like uploads in moments, like whenever she shares pictures or videos, I happened to see that. And once I was going to ship some goods from China with love to me here in Mexico, I was like, oh, I would like to see that tea, because she kind of published some, it's called nai cha, oolong nai cha, which means like milk tea oolong, because it smells like a milk, like very sweet. And I just saw that picture and I was drawn to ask her if she will sell for me some quantities, because I was going to ship some goods. And she was like, we don't export. I was like, you don't have to export. You can just ship the goods the tea to the warehouse in Shenzhen, and I will ship it myself. So she did so, and she also went the extra mile. She gave me some free samples of other teas, and she was super kind. The customer service was like, I was not yet, I believe I didn't transfer her the money yet, whenever she already gave me the tracking number. And I was like, wow, this is just super fast. So she was so kind. She was so eager to do business, People you're so eager to do business. And I was very pleased with the service. And of course, I do enjoy drinking such tea. And of course, we have here another varieties. Might as well do not taste the same, but still. But because of this connection and this kindness, I had still purchased from her. This is going to be the third or fourth time that I'm ordering like Chinese tea from China, because I enjoy the experience of purchasing from her itself, like ordering from her via WeChat, she being super kind and warm, replying to my messages, and also preparing the goods like ASAP, give me a tracking number. It's just like, it's a very satisfying and pleasurable experience to be purchasing from her. Whereas these suppliers in Mexico of daily necessities that I have, that is not the case. And it gets to the extent that at some point I just want to cancel them. Like, oh, let's just stop purchasing from them because they are just really non-kind to not reply to me, to reply 3 days after, to like deliver the goods whenever, to forget this and that. You know, but then again, we don't have a lot of choices, or I don't have a lot of choices here. And those are like the best companies, or they have really good products. And I don't want to abstain myself from the products just because the service is bad. So it's like a love-hate relationship towards these companies. And of course, the products do not have any guilt, but the owners of these businesses or these companies which are providing the bad service to us clients. And I feel like I have to beg them, please tell me, please send me your catalog, please send me your prices, please contact me whenever you have these or those promotions. It's just nonsense. Okay, for example, the Black Friday, and there is like another thing here in Mexico called Buen Fin, which is almost like 11/11 and Black Friday kind of events where there are like super big sales. So I love the Swarovski jewelry just like this. In any case you guys wanna give to me, of course, good jewelry. Anyways, I really like this kind of Swarovski crystal jewelry, right? And there was a ring which I got in mind that I like it, but I was waiting for this special time when they were going to have big discounts. Listen to me, the weekend that was going to be discounted prices, 1 week ahead, I WhatsApp them, the clerk, which I got the number from, like in the shop here. I was like, hello, good afternoon. Will you have discounts next weekend? Yes, we will. We will have 30% off. Will you have this merchandise, a specific ring discounted? Yes, we will. Okay, great. Could you search for this size? Okay, I will check it to you and I'll come back. That was the last message. As previous videos, I said, he or she just is not ghosted. Someone said like ghosted. No, because ghosting people is just disappearing. No, it's like, it's more of like leave me in sin, just like that. And there's no reply after. And then of course the weekend, like the big discounts weekend arrived. And I was like, so I got to contact you guys through WhatsApp, wondering whether this product was discounted. You told me you were going to look for the size, but you never got me back with any information. So I'd like to know whether you have this ring size. I would like to try it and purchase it. So the whole thing was like, oh, at this moment we do not have that ring size here, but we do have it in another shopping mall. So let me see whether I can bring it to you tomorrow. Yeah, but tomorrow the sale is ending. And I was very clear that I really wanted that ring, and it's your fault. As salespeople, you didn't reply to my message. I contacted you 1 week previous to this happening. Don't worry, you can pay for it, get the discount, and try it tomorrow whenever I'm gonna have the ring here with me. And I was like, no way, because if it doesn't fit me, then I cannot reimburse it. No, but you can change the size. I was like, I don't like this service. Therefore, I asked at first whether you could get the size for me to try it first. No, we are so very sorry. We had a lot of clients these days. We were super full. So to make the story conclusion, I was just very dissatisfied with the service because previously I had been purchasing some like pieces from them and I was like a regular client. So why on earth would you not reply to a safe client? To a client that it's already, you are sure that you had that client because that client has been purchasing from you previously, just like the other goods. It's not a new client, you know. And then after he was like, oh, we are so very busy because we have a lot of like new customers coming these times, and I don't know how he happened to say like, oh, I'm so very stressed because I have to fulfill the quota of selling 1 million and I'm not close still. And I was like, so with more emphasis, wouldn't you be like trying to close and be at trying to serve the clients as your best possibilities? And it was not the case for me. So this is just one very, very small example that happened just 2 weeks ago. And the milks, the vegetable mix is another, the vegetables, it's another. There are so many like examples. There is this other delicacy gourmet shop, which is a very like high class business here because all the goods that they are selling there come from the USA to a very like not high price, but of course they have a percentage. Let's say 20%, they cost 20% more or 30% more than in the USA. But because here we want to consume USA products or American candy or whatever, people go to this shop to purchase imported USA goods. So they also have a WhatsApp line, and I was wondering whether they have these vitamins, and they were like, let us check. That is just, and they disappear. And then I just got to do some other stuff or tasks, and all of a sudden I also forget about that. And a week after I was like, oh, I remember I asked about these vitamins. I don't remember what was the answer, so then I go back to the WhatsApp to check the chat, and the answer was none. Like there's no answer, so they haven't been back to me because they were checking. I was like, you didn't reply to me. I was like, you let me on wait. Oh, so very sorry. This, oh my god, just the same story. But this is an international kind of business. I mean, they import like a variety of like the shop is quite big, all kind of USA goodies, from even Starbucks to Dr. Pepper to pastas, no, dressings, all kind of goods that you can imagine, foods. So it was just very, how to say, it's very draining. Sometimes it gets to be very draining to be or feel in the position that you are almost begging them to pay attention to you because you have money, like I'm having my money here in my hand and I want to pay for goods, and you don't seem to care for me as a client or for my order, or you don't seem to respect me as a client because you don't even have the decency or the respect to treat me with an answer. You just forgot me. They just have a very bad implementation of sales staff or customer service, which is not the case for China. You will get a reply very fast, and not just you will get the reply fast, you will also get a follow-up service, wondering whether you are okay with the price, wondering why you didn't purchase, also making you a different kind of offer, also offering you new products, new services, also making a deal for you in order for you to be able to purchase a thing. But here you have to almost beg them to sell to you. It's just why. So it feels quite uncomfortable. I don't know what is your the case whenever it comes to you guys doing business with China, your experience compared to doing business with Mexico, sorry, compared to doing business with China. But the efficiency on customer service, it's a very big issue here. Another thing is like, oh yeah, they will see like, we will see, we will check, and then you don't get a reply. Another important thing is like, for example, in Mexico, like Saturday, Sunday are rest days. Of course, maybe it's a weekend for all around the world, mostly. In China, somehow they will place customer service I'm not talking about the factories, but usually, even in China, usually normal common businesses around the city are open all days. And if not, even the entrepreneur itself, the owner of the shop business, or even the sales staff, which are remotely online on WeChat connected, will reply to you if you happen to send them a message wondering about business hours or whether they have an appointment for this or that service. Some people are begging for money, and you have to beg to give some other people money. Peter. Yeah, it feels like that. And sometimes it's very uncomfortable because in China, whenever you are paying for small services, as a consumer in the city all around, like I was previously mentioning, facial massages or whatever beauty service, or even these organic vegetables, which I previously used to buy as well in Sheche, people will be super grateful and will receive your money and your order happily, and will be also follow up with you, wondering whether you want to order again, when you will come back to redo the service, whether or not you want to buy the membership card. Somehow you feel like they are looking for your benefit and treating you and considering you as an important client for their business, no matter if you are like this or like that, because you are a client and you are a source of income. Compared to here, sometimes I am just very upset. Not upset, like, upset is like sad, right? I'm just very uneasy whenever my purchasing order was big and they don't give a whatever for me as a client as being an important part of their company as a client and giving me the best possible service. It's just not acceptable. But this is how things work. Another thing that I was mentioning is like in China, let me have a sip of something. I got this cup in Malaysia, Bintang. I think it's Malaysia, or is it another place? Anyways, another thing, as I was mentioning, is like the weekends for the Latin people are like sacred. So usually people will not reply to you on weekends. Companies do not have staff working on weekends. There's not such a thing as customer service working on weekends to reply to your whatever questions. So usually they will be just business hours from Monday to Friday. Compared to China. In China, usually, somehow, if they are not open, they will still get back to you with an answer, no matter even how late at night it is. They have like even 24 hours somehow service. And if they don't have service 24 hours, the owner of the shop or the entrepreneur will be attending your messages because he or she wants to have you as a client. So we'll get back to you as soon as possible. This is kind of a cultural, I guess, kind of thing, because in Europe, maybe if you also tell someone that she or he has to reply to client requests during like the weekend, I'm not very sure how the Europeans will see this, whether it's like, oh no, weekends are for rest. There's not such a thing in China. I mean, of course you can rest, but of course there's a way to still be having attention in customer service department. Like you can employ other people which can be working remotely to be answering clients no matter which day of the week, even if it's not working hours, and as well as like to get a reply, you know. So yeah, these are some issues. Of course, there must be many more, but these are the issues that just get to my nerve recently. Give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying these live streams. And I have some Chinese few friends here, which also get very anxious and uneasy whenever they're doing business with Mexican people, Mexican individuals, because they will be like, okay, I will get to you, I will get to you, I'll get back to you next, and let me think about the deal, I'll get back to you, I'll check it. And there's not such a precise date or time whenever he or she will get back to you. So you were just on a waiting kind of position. And sometimes it means like there's not gonna be such a cooperation or deal, but that's a way of just saying, I'll get back to you, I'll check it, we will see. So it's quite uncertain. It's called their siesta way of life, more relaxed. Of course, we have stress now. Here, Mexico is a very competitive country, and I feel like, of course, it depends really, because I live in a city where competitiveness, it's a thing. There's a lot of traffic, there's like huge buildings, there's very beautiful restaurants, there's very beautiful malls. So it really depends. Of course, in the other areas around Mexico where there's smaller towns, it works very relaxed, but not in the city. And therefore, I am just wondering why this happens. Like, for example, the previous case about Swarovski, Crystal Swarovski is a very big company, but it is, of course, I think I don't know where is the company from, but I mean, the sales stuff here in Mexico happens to be just as the ordinary stuff here in Mexico of whatever other companies. There are some exceptions though, but today I was just talking about the negatives. I will get to make a video and talk about some of the positives and the surpluses, or how to call it, like the other sides that I see that have some advantages of doing business with Mexico vs China. There must be some. But in this video, I will just refer to those. So I just hope that you are somehow learning something out of these lives, as well as perhaps feeling familiar with the experiences that I share with you, because many of you maybe are not really doing business directly with Mexico, but have been here on holiday and had some experiences with the culture, as purchasing some services, some, I don't know, tours or whatever, and you also got to feel this like non-efficient customer service kind of thing. However, I'm not saying one is better than the other. In this case, of course, the good attention, good customer service is the best, but I just want to be very, how to say, I just don't want to take a side and say this country is better than the other. I just want to talk unilateral, like impartial, and share with you my experiences, which are just that, experiences. And also willing to read your experiences in the comment section. So 2 things. One, first of all, let me know which is your preferred communication channel. If it's WhatsApp, if it's whatever other, I don't know, maybe DM somewhere, or even email. For the coming websites of services, in order for us to understand how it's better for us to communicate with you guys. And second, give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow. Kisses to the world. Bye bye.